All right, what's up everybody? It's Chase here. It's my assistant Tim today. We're going to be talking about a flower sweep, no-gi variation specifically. So we'll show the flower sweep, the full thing, and then we'll show you guys some adjustments with it as well too. So from this position, what we want to look at is I'm going to go 2-on-1 on Tim's wrist. What's going to happen is I'm going to pull this to me, and what that's going to do is Tim's going to try to probably pull it away. So as that happens, I'm going to sit up and I move his arm across, which actually makes it weaker. Now my hand's going to leave and I'm going to grab his lat. I still keep my feet crossed. Now I'm going to go underneath of his leg and I'm going to open up my legs. My far leg is going to think about coming around his head like I'm going for an arm lock. Now my south leg kicks to his head and this arm is pointing to help me lift him and roll. Let's look at that again. So the most common mistake I see students do with this is as they go to do this move, they come around, they move this arm over, they don't do a good job at holding the lat and keeping this arm stuck in between. Because if I try the move and Tim bases his hand out, it stops my move. Now I can't do anything, I gotta transition, which we'll look at something here in a second. So what I wanna make sure I do is as I move this arm over, I keep a hold of his lat muscle and I keep stuck. I keep my head glued to him, and now my other hand's gonna go underneath of his leg. From here, I'm gonna open up my legs wide and think about arm locking him. Now my other leg's gonna try to kick him in the head. My leg straightens so he doesn't get stuck underneath, and I'm using my finger to point to help me lift and roll over. And that's your basic flower sweep. Now, let's look at some things that can happen from there. So, especially if I try this variation, where I have Tim's arm trapped to my body, from here, if I try this flower sweep and he's just so strong, a lot of times when my hips go to open, that's his moment to rip his arm out here, right? And now it stops my move. So from this position, I throw my leg over. I trap it with the triangle trap. My arm's gonna come over the top, and now we start to rotate. I bring my knee over the top and we're into an arm crush right here. So when I arm crush, I wanna make sure that my top knee is on top of his shoulder. What that does is it controls the distance between me and Tim. If he tries to come forward, it's tough. If he tries to pull away, it's tough. He can't really do it. If my knee is down and he comes forward, he can start to hug my head and clasp my body. So I wanna make sure that knee stays over the shoulder right here. This other foot is staying tight, right? It's keeping it chopped in, and that prevents Tim from running away from me right there. If my leg is lazy, he can start to run away and adjust. So I hold this tight, my arm's over the top of his elbow, my other arm's on top. I pinch everything together, I keep my head glued to his wrist, and I push down. So let's look at that from the whole thing. So we're here, I have his wrist, I move this over, and I grab the lat. Now my hand goes underneath. As I go for the flower sweep, he rips his arm out. I cross my feet, and my hand's gonna start to come over the top, and look, I shifted my hips, so everything is facing towards Tim's head. This is hard for him to try to turn us back square right now, because my legs and my arm's over the top of his arm. It puts pressure on his own arm. Now I can come here and push down. Now the only thing Tim can do sometimes, if he's good, he'll start to roll. He'll roll over the top right there and flip and start to get away and unwind it, right? So from that position, just like that, here, boom. As I start to come over, if Tim starts to step over, I'm gonna bring my knee over the top right here. And then from that position that rolls him over, I can throw my legs and we finish. Okay. So there you go. You have a basic variation of the sweep. You have some adjustments if they post their arm out, and now you have a really fancy finish if they decide they want to roll out of it. So good luck, give it a try, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you, sir.